Have you ever felt invisible? Like no matter how hard you try, your efforts go unnoticed, or worse, unappreciated? What if one day someone saw the real you, the struggles, the sacrifices, and it changed everything? Before we dive into this story that's tailor-made for people like you, take a moment to let me know where you're watching from. Are you tuning in from a cozy apartment in New York City, a small town somewhere quiet and calm, or maybe even abroad? Drop your location in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button as a gesture of kindness, because trust me, you're already an amazing person just by being here. Let's talk about something deeper now. Have you ever wondered what secrets lie behind closed doors? The ones hidden beneath smiles at work, laughter with friends, or even silence during family dinners. This is exactly why I'm sharing today's story with you. It's raw, emotional, and might just remind you of someone close to your heart. Now imagine this. A man walks into his own restaurant, disguised, unknown to anyone, and orders a simple slice of pizza. But what happens next will leave him frozen in place, questioning everything he thought he knew about his business and himself. Let's dive deeper to see how this unfolds. It was late afternoon when Nolan Hayes stepped into the Corner Slice, the bustling eatery he had built from scratch over 2 decades ago. He wore oversized glasses, a baseball cap pulled low, and a hoodie zipped up tight. To anyone who glanced his way, he looked like just another customer, a tired traveler stopping for a quick bite before heading home. No one suspected the truth. Nolan owned this place, along with several others scattered across the country. Yet here he was, undercover, trying to understand why profits were falling despite glowing reviews online. Nolan approached the counter, where 2 waiters stood chatting while pretending to clean menus. One of them, a young woman named Tessa, caught his eye immediately. She had dark hair tied back in a messy bun and wore an apron stained with tomato sauce. Her voice carried warmth, even though she sounded exhausted. Beside her stood Leo, a lanky guy with freckles and a permanent smirk. They didn't notice Nolan standing there, waiting patiently, or perhaps impatiently, for their attention. "Can I get a large pepperoni?" Nolan finally said, clearing his throat. His voice came out gruff, almost nervous. Tessa turned toward him, flashing a polite smile. "Sure thing. Anything else?" "No, that's all," Nolan replied, pulling out a crumpled bill from his pocket. As she rang up the order, he couldn't help but overhear their conversation. "I can't keep doing this, Leo," Tessa whispered, glancing around to make sure no one else could hear. "I've been working doubles every week, and it's still not enough." Leo sighed, leaning against the counter. "Tell me about it. Did you see my paycheck last month? Barely enough to cover rent. And they want us to smile through it all, like we're living some dream job." Nolan froze mid-reach for his wallet. Was this really happening? These weren't lazy employees complaining. They were hard-working individuals struggling to survive under his watch. "You think Mr. Hayes knows what it's like out here?" Tessa continued bitterly. "He probably doesn't even remember our names." Her words hit Nolan like a punch to the gut. He wanted to step forward, reveal himself, and tell her she was wrong, but he stayed silent. Instead, he listened intently, guilt washing over him. Leo shrugged. "Doesn't matter. None of us are more than numbers to him anyway. Just cogs in his machine." Tessa nodded slowly, her expression heavy with resignation. "Yeah, I guess you're right." Nolan forced a weak smile as she handed him his change. "Thanks," he mumbled, taking the receipt and stepping aside. He found a corner table and sat down, staring blankly at the slice of pizza in front of him. For the first time in years, he wasn't hungry. What had he become? When did success start meaning exploitation? As he mulled over these questions, a little girl tugged on her mother's sleeve near the entrance. "Mommy, can I have cheese pizza today?" she asked excitedly. The mother hesitated, digging through her purse. "We'll see, sweetheart. We need to save money this week." Nolan watched quietly, feeling a lump rise in his throat. That could have been him once, a child hoping for something as simple as pizza, while his single mom worked tirelessly to provide. Somewhere along the way, he'd forgotten those days. Forgotten the value of empathy. Suddenly, Tessa appeared beside his table, holding a tray of drinks. "Excuse me, sir," she said softly. "Would you like anything to drink?" Nolan shook his head, meeting her gaze for the first time. Her eyes were tired but kind, brimming with untold stories. "No, thank you," he replied gently. She lingered for a moment longer than necessary, as if debating whether to say something. Finally, she spoke. "You look thoughtful. Is everything okay?" He blinked, surprised by her concern. Just thinking about life, I suppose. Tessa gave a small laugh. Join the club. Everyone here seems to be doing that lately. Before he could respond, she hurried off to assist another customer. Nolan leaned back in his chair, letting her words sink in. Join the club, indeed. Later that evening, after closing time, Nolan gathered the staff in the dining area. He removed his disguise, revealing his true identity. Gasps filled the room as recognition dawned on their faces. I heard things today that broke my heart, he began, his voice trembling slightly. Things I should have known long before now. You've poured your energy into this place, yet I failed to see your struggles. Failed to listen. Silence hung thick in the air. Some employees shifted uncomfortably, while others stared at him wide-eyed. To make amends, Nolan continued, I'm implementing immediate changes. Starting tomorrow, wages will increase by 20%. Overtime will be compensated fairly. And most importantly, I'll hold monthly meetings to ensure everyone feels heard. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Tessa stepped forward cautiously. Why now? She asked, her tone guarded. What made you change your mind? Nolan met her gaze steadily. Because sometimes it takes hearing the truth from strangers to wake up to reality. Tessa nodded slowly, tears glistening in her eyes. Thank you, she whispered. In the weeks that followed, Nolan transformed not only his policies, but also his leadership style. He visited each branch personally, learning names, sharing meals, and listening intently to feedback. Profits soared, not because of clever marketing strategies, but because happy employees created unforgettable experiences for customers. So here's the question for you. When was the last time you truly listened to someone? Really listened, without judgment or interruption? Maybe it's time to start, because sometimes the smallest act of understanding can spark the biggest change. Before you go, share this video with someone who needs to hear this message today. And remember, you're capable of making a difference, no matter how ordinary you may feel. Keep shining wherever you are. That's the story, friends. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure sharing it with you all. Don't forget to comment below and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see the global reach of these stories. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories, tips, and tricks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.